in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyantamarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militangena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of light. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. And we're doing this other verse as well. No, I'm saying Mukum Karati Vachalam. Okay, it's getting long. How many more? Mukum Karati Vachalam Pungam Langade Girim Yat Kripatadaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls, whose mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Okay? Don't forget about that in vocations. Hare Krishna. Okay.
We are reading from 41 to 52 and focusing on 43.
Wow. Everyone together.
Maharaj, yes.
While we're waiting, during kirtan, people should use their hands and their arms. Maybe there's a routine you guys should look what the Russian girls do instead of just looking like it.
41.
It's got to be attractive. And also in the morning, I guess it's good to get a certain pitch. Do they have those little so you get the right pitch on the scale? Because oftentimes we start so low and it sounds like a funeral.
Is Bluetooth on?
I can give it from the harmonium.
Okay, and let devotees learn how to get up to the right pitch. Yeah. Okay, is that okay, everybody? Have we agreed? Don't start too low. No one's died. Well, someone's dying somewhere, but we don't know who they are. Okay, it's got to sound lively. Okay, we're still waiting. Any jokes? Does anybody have any good jokes? Any new jokes?
Would you like to tell them?
I don't have that many good, but if we start on a program, then what did the banana say to the doctor? I'm not peeling very good. Should I start reading?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. This, the killing of Dhenukasura, the ass demon. Text 42, and Lord Krishna's hair, powdered with the dust raised by the cows, was decorated with a peacock feather and forest flowers. The Lord glanced charmingly and smiled beautifully, playing upon his flute, while his companions chanted his glories. The gopis all together came forward to meet him, their eyes very eager to see him. With their bee-like eyes, the women of Vrindavan drank the honey of the beautiful face of Lord Mukunda, and thus they gave up the distress they had felt during the day because of separation from him. The young Vrindavan ladies cast sidelong glances at the Lord, glances filled with bashfulness, laughter, and submissiveness. And Sri Krishna, completely accepting these glances as a proper offering of respect, entered the cowherd village. Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini, acting most affectionately toward their two sons, offered all the best things to them in response to their every desire and at the various appropriate times. By being bathed and massaged, the two young lords were relieved of the weariness caused by walking on the country roads. Then they were dressed in attractive robes and decorated with transcendental garlands and fragrances. After dining sumptuously on the delicious food given them by their mothers and being pampered in various ways, the two brothers lay down upon their excellent beds and happily went to sleep in the village of Raj. O King, the Supreme Lord Krishna thus wandered about the Vrindavan area, performing his pastimes. Once surrounded by his boyfriends, he went without Balaram to the Yamuna River. At that time, the cows and cowherd boys were feeling acute distress from the glaring summer sun. Afflicted by thirst, they drank the water of the Yamuna River, but it had been contaminated with poison. As soon as they touched the poisoned water, all the cows and boys lost their consciousness by the divine power of the Lord and fell lifeless at the water's edge. O hero of the Kurus, see them in such a condition. Lord Krishna, the master of all masters of mystic potency, felt compassion for these devotees who had no Lord other than him. Thus he immediately brought them back to life by showering his nectarian glance upon them. Regaining their full consciousness, the cows and boys stood up out of the water and began to look at one another in great astonishment. O King, the cowherd boys then considered that although they had drunk poison and in fact had died, simply by the merciful glance of Govinda, they had regained their lives and stood up by their own strength. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th canto, 15th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The King of Dhenukasura, the Ass Demon. Hare Krishna. Notice how I wanted you to say that. Okay, what?
43, Maharaj.
43. Oh boy. Pitva mukunda mukasaragam akshi bringais. Tapang yahur jahur virahajang vrajajoshitanni. Tatsat kriting samidigamya vishesha kushtang. Okay. Savriddha hasa vinayang yad apanga moksham. Vishesh is translated as he entered. Did you enter? Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Pitva mukunda mukasargamam akshi bringes.
Pitva mukunda mukasaragamakshi bringes.
Tapam jahur virahajam rajayoshitoni.
Tatsat kritim samadigamya vivesha gostam.
Tatsat kritim samadhigamya vivesha gosram.
Savriddha hasa vinayang yad apanga moksham.
Pitva mukunda mukasargam akshi bringais.
Pakam jahur virahajam sitogni. Sankritim samagamaya vishesha goshtam. Savriddha savinayam yad apanga moksham. Pitva mukunda mukasaragam akshi bringais. Papam jahur virahajam brajayoshitoni.
Tatsat kritim samadhigamya vivesha gotam.
Vishagostam. Savridahasa vinayam yad apanga moksham. Pitva Makunda Mukasaragam Akshi Bringais. Tapam Jahur Virahajam Jayoshitoni. Tatsat Kritam Samayagam Yavishesha Goshtam. Savridahasa Vinayam Yad Apanga Moksham. Jai. Pitva, drinking, Mukunda Mukha, of the face of Lord Mukunda. Saragam, the honey, Akshi Bringahai, with their be-like eyes. Tapum, distress. Jahu, gave up. Virahajam, based on separation. Brajayoshitaha, the ladies of Vrindavan. Ani, during the day. Tat, that. Satkritim, offering of respect. Samagdigamya, fully accepting. Vivesha, he entered. Goshtam, the coward village. Savrida, with shame. Hasa, laughter. Vinayam, and humbleness. Yat, which apanga, of their sidelong glances. Moksham, the release. Translation. With their be-like eyes, we can read it together. With their be-like eyes, the women of Vrindavan drank the blood of Lord Mukunda. And thus they gave up the distress they had felt during the day because of separation from him. The young Vrindavan ladies cast sidelong glances at the Lord, glances filled with bashfulness, laughter, and submission. And Sri Krishna completely accepted these glances as a proper offering of respect, entered to the coward village. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktimarga Swami Prabhupada's devotees. In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada describes this incident as follows. All the gopis in Vrindavan remain very
sad, distressed,
morose on account of Krishna's absence. You feel proud, don't you? All day they were
thinking
of Krishna in the forest, or of him herding in the give me P. Pasture. When they saw Krishna in the or of him, when they saw Krishna, all day they were thinking of Krishna in the forest or of him herding cows in the pasture. When they saw Krishna returning, all their anxieties were immediately relieved. And they began to look at his, the way drones hover over the honey of a lotus. Yeah. When Krishna entered the village, the young gopis smiled and laughed. Krishna, while playing the flute, enjoyed the beautiful smiling faces of the Gopis, okay. The Supreme Lord Sri is the supreme master of romantic skills, and thus he expertly exchanged loving feelings with the young cowherd girls of Vrindavan. When a chaste young girl is in love, she glances at her beloved with shyness, jubilation, and submission. When the beloved accepts her offering of love by receiving her glance and is thus satisfied with her, the young girl's heart becomes filled with happiness. These were exactly the romantic exchanges taking place between beautiful young and the loving cowherd girls of. Okay, Haribol, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you all for joining and helping with the purport, which is always a lot of fun. Okay, great. So here we're talking about something that captivates everybody. A pastime of people coming together, and you know, Krishna's the obvious heartthrob here in Vrindavan. Everyone's talking about him when he's a young baby. There's all this, you know, they look at his pranks and they look at all the cute things he does. Then when he gets a little older, it gets even better, but it's a little bit of a different kind of draw. It's a different show, you know. The first act of his musical is baby stuff, crawling, getting into trouble, you know, knocking off a cart, killing a big fat lady called Putana, what not. It kind of goes on, getting picked up by the wind, you know, and becoming very light for a moment. And first of all, he was heavy. Mother showed, oh, my baby's so heavy. She puts him down. He becomes light. The Trinavarta comes and takes him for a ride. And of course, he's having a great time. Woo! And then he becomes heavy, so heavy that the wind demon just can't hold him anymore, and he comes crashing onto the ground. Krishna comes off for a soft landing. So these are like baby pastimes, and then as he grows up a little bit more, you know, kind of like 5. There, you know, what is it? We have babyhood. We've got Komara, Poganda, etc. We have different phases of his life. Finally, it's Yovana. People like to look at his youthhood as well. And, you know, just heard when I was in Charlottetown, the person I went to see was a doctor, and he sometimes gets a little confused, actually. And one of his friends was saying, oh, no, it's not Krishna that's God, it's Shiva who's God, because Krishna's very immoral in his behavior, you know what we're referring to, the rasa dance. And first of all, what we have to consider is a few things about Krishna. He was very young when he did the rasa dance. He was just young. He was before puberty, so don't get any nasty ideas out there, you know? It's not, his romantic skills are not like ours. The comparison is that his is gold and we are like iron, right? What we have here in this world. Ours is based on selfishness. Somebody can criticize Krishna's selfish, it's all about him. Well, yeah, it is all about him. Everything is about him. That's what we're trying to get to understand in Krishna consciousness. You know? So the different phases, people have different attractions, and this is definitely one particular one. He spends time with the boys, he spends time with the girls. With the girls, it's a very special thing. He can't always be with the girls, so the girls miss him. And then when they see him, just looking at his face, it gives so much relief. The word is moksha. Moksha, getting relief. Krishna uses that term in the Bhagavad Gita, right? 1866, moksha shami, ma shuchaha. So it's and it is a relief. It's a relief of karma, all the things that bog us down, all the things that torture us, all the things that cause us to suffer and be in anxiety. It's all relieved once you submit to Him. I surrender to you. Did anybody ever see The Life of Pi? Did you ever see? And I forget the name of the character. Vishnu, I surrender to you. You know, he's out in the ocean in the middle of nowhere. And,
His name is Pai.
Pi, his name was Pi, the guy. He was Pi.
Yes.
He was Pi.
Yeah.
Oh, the character was Pi. Okay, great. Like a piece of. Okay. All right. Yeah, so it was a nice moment. I mean, he said it very well. You know, I mean, you could probably find it out on your phone. I surrender to you. Like, it was really, he should have got an Oscar. I thought that kid should have got it instead of the usual people. But this is what it's all about. How do we surrender? You get hooked first. You have to get attached first. And then you'll feel separation. You won't feel separation if you don't get attached. So the Mayavadis tend to be maybe a little bit attached to this Brahman, the Jyoti aspect of God, the effulgence of the Lord, but it's not something to write home about. I remember I was just a new devotee, and we had a sannyasi come. He was African American from America. He came up. His name is Sudama. Prabhupada liked him so much. He liked him so much. And then he was explaining to us in a Bhagavatam class about the Jyoti, the light. Like the way where he was coming from, he said, it's not a big deal. You switch on the light's on. And you can switch it on, off. It's nothing to get so excited about, right? Just the light. Like, look, everyone choose a light here. Look at one of those lights. Choose one. Mataji, you have to choose one. Take a pick. Subin, are you going to look at one of the lights? Okay, you have to do your homework. Look at the lights. Okay. I mean, what is the deal here? What's the big deal about it? It's not. And you look at the face of Krishna, and surely there's something there. Don't we find something in the Sri Upanishad at the tail end, where the devotee is saying, the one who's chanting all the mantras in the text, saying, just remove that others. We'll remove that stuff. Get the glare out. Sometimes you would look at a picture or painting and it's framed with glass. Said, it's too much glare, you can't see it. So you get non-glare glass, and then you can see, right? So devotees are interested in the face of the Lord. In fact, they're interested in the feet of the Lord, which are lotus-like, his faces. And everything else in between is also lotus-like. And there's the peacock feather. You can't miss that one. Boy, if pujaris forget to put a peacock feather on Krishna, they're in big trouble. I don't know, that's going to be real bad karma. So every feature of the Lord is absolutely bedazzling. It's wonderful. And we should just keep that in mind. Yep. And this is, so devotees get hooked on his face. It's hard for them to, look either way, away from that face. And therefore, the gopis were criticizing Brahma, said, he's not a very good engineer. He put like eyelids on it, It's like eyelids, so they blink, we blink some. You blinked, 1, 2. I'm going to stare at you. Okay, all right, you're a good stare. But we tend to just blink all the time, and Sakopis were criticizing. They're saying that, you didn't do such a good job because people have to spend like a fraction of a second not looking at the Lord. That's such an interesting concept, and it appears in the Nectar of Devotion when you read a person that says, wow, you're so much in love with God's face, and the eyelids are considered to be bad. Of course, they are. If someone throws something at you, immediately it's instinctively it happens, isn't it? You go like that. Or for myself, I love my God brothers, but in GBC meetings, my eyelids tend to come down quite a few times. Yes, even though the topics were important. Yeah. So separation means there was unity, there was union. And it's, I don't know, you have to think about it sometimes. I don't know what it was like in India during the partition years, but definitely in the war, in Second World War in Europe, there was a place you go to in town where they bring a list of all the people. And they have a list of all the, the women would go to see, is my husband still around? And when they see his name, that may killed in action. It's a real incredible breakdown. It's horrible. It's horrible to experience that. And separation, however, there's another side to it. There's a longing there. And hankering is an important feature, important element in Krishna consciousness, isn't it? I hanker for the Rath Yatra. I hanker for prasadam. I hanker for the exercises before the prasadam, right? And, the longing, it's a gnawing longing. It's the feeling that, says, when will it ever come? When you're a kid growing up, you say, oh, I can't wait till I grow up. What am I going to be? What will I do? Who will I meet? How many kids will we have? I mean, just all those kind of things. And it really drags out time. It takes so long, it drags out. So therefore, we are, this is a very important component in our Krishna conscious sentiments. And sentiments are very important. They really are. I mean, bhakti is all about sentiments. Prabhupada uses the word sentient beings. That means we have senses, right? Maybe somebody could look up the origin of sentient. Sentient. It's an important word for us because it just means emotions are there. The emotions are sometimes quite high, and they need to be in order for us to be hooked on to Krishna. And sarvo padibinir muktam tat paratrena nirmalam. So just that verse. As you get hooked onto Krishna, you get less attached to materialism. And the more it works reverse, the more you get attached to materialism, the less you pay attention to Krishna. So let's sentient feeling. Feeling from the verb sentire. Does it give the origin? Sentient. So it's from the Latin word. Okay.
That's also sentient in Latin, but it means feeling.
Yes. Feeling, yes. We just read that. Yeah. Vishesh. Vivesh. Vishesh. Okay. So it has something to do with the senses. The senses are activated, right, when you have feelings, isn't it? There's an animation there. And it keeps, when we're animated, we're not sleepy, we're not tired, we're not bored, And by the way, the word came up, this one, bored. Well, if you get outside, and if you're always inside, you'll get bored. You got to get outside in order to feel some life. Because we're meant to breathe. We're meant to walk, we're meant to breathe, and all these things. We're also meant to have feelings. Yesterday when I was doing japa, I was in downtown Charlotte, and there was this guy, he had a toque and he had a beard. He had kind of a demigod-like face, I must admit. So I thought and he lit up a cigarette. And I just, he was standing right by the sidewalk and I was going, good morning, I said, and he just got really shy. I don't know why. I don't know, he just got really shy. But shyness, isn't that one of the features that we're discussing here? Shyness, what else? Jubilation and submission. This is what happens when people kind of fall in love. There's shyness a little bit, uncertainty. Will he or she accept me? And then once there's acceptance, then Jai Ho. Right? And then after that, then there's submission. Oh, let's do something together. Let's do some, let's go out, for a swim or whatever it is, submission. There's something I can do for you. So the guy brings a bouquet of flowers or something, whatever it is. She cooks something for him. So that's submission, ready to do service. This is all service is aroused from, seeing something that's very attractive. And Krishna is all attractive. Let's not forget, that's what his name means. Krishna means all attractive on every level. We can talk about the six opulences of the Lord, but attractiveness on all, up, down, sideways, backside, everything. And Krishna's back is beautiful. Everything's nice about him as far as we are to understand. Sometimes the backside of the Lord is a description of the physical world. Sometimes that's when you see the shadow. If you're looking at the sun, and the sun is in this direction, you're standing here. But if you turn your back, then you see a shadow. So sometimes it shows the darker side of life, but the dark side of life also has a good element to it. You know what it is? It's like, just like winter. Winter is great because it makes summer look so much better, right? Or spring at least. I'm not so much a big fan of the deep summer, like, suffocate. Or the absence of sun means you appreciate the sun, So it's okay to go through phases, to accept darkness in order to appreciate light, right? Like, say for instance, nowadays somebody pointed out to me, everything is black and white, Even when you go to the suburbs, the houses are black and white. Really? Got that tar look, It's like and when you go into shops like where they sell the best clothes, everything's black and white. There's nothing cheerful about it, isn't it? Yeah, so no offense against people wearing toadies. The trim has got some green, so it's okay. It passes, so color, texture, smell, shape. These are all the things that we hanker to have every day. The wonderful thing about Indian cuisine is that there's so many different textures, right? How many people like bindi? I do too. And some people go, oh, so slimy, yuck. Yeah. And what about the smells? How many people like black salt? Come on! Black salt. By the way, I always carry a batch with me in every suitcase, just to let people know. Usually people in the beginning say, it takes some getting used to. But once you're hooked, And then if you don't get it, if you go to a regular restaurant or you're trying to get something, you put something wrapped together, they don't sell black salt. Say, I'm missing my black salt. So there's a good point about feeling separation means that there's intensifying of the wanting to be together. So that's the good, just like a farmer and his wife, he's not in the house all day. He's out. He's out with the earth. He's out with the grass. He's out with the animals and the plants. She may spend some quality time out in the house, but he'll come back, and it's nice. One good thing about farming is that you know where your partner is. In the city, you don't know where they are. And then you're working with people of opposite gender. You spend more time with your co-workers than with your life partner, your spouse. So that is the downfall of the world in which we live right now. Whether you might cancel out what I'm saying, I'm just telling you right now. As a kid, I saw it with my own eyes. We were kids. Men worked with men, women worked with women. And then when the culture somewhat changed, it got more into corporate kind of lifestyle. then men are with women, and they, hey, why don't we just go out and have some wine together for lunch or whatever. And that's where Kamadev starts coming in, and unfaithfulness starts setting in. So that we don't want that kind of thing. That's not, we don't want to go there. It's not good, especially when there's kids involved. So, but in terms of God and His love affairs, we have to take that very seriously, and it's not exactly like our love. I like the way it was put in the shooting the rhinos with the Swami, right? Or chasing. Yeah, chasing. Yeah, I got to chase them, but you can't shoot them. So we're vegetarian. We're non-violent people. Okay, and then Shyamsundar, the author, he starts talking when Prabhupada first talks about Radha. They said, oh yeah, God's girlfriend. That's how he puts it. No, it came so natural to him, So I think that's very important for devotees to appreciate, is the male and female aspects of the divine, right? No, we're sitting here in Mayapur. Our leaders are voting on some, I don't know what the proposal is, but about female Diksha gurus, and it's pretty intense. There's a lot of stuff out there right now. In North America, we want to have a few ladies that can do this. It would be very good, make us look really good, and that motherly element should be there. If as I was a kid growing up and joined the Hare Krishna movement, 19 years old, I'd want as my guru a husband and wife. I would want that. I think that's the best, But anyways, they're not always there. So anyways, I'm going a little bit over the time, but I think everybody understands to some degree what the topic is here. It's attractiveness, it's smiling faces, it's attachments, feeling of separation. So attachment plus detachment is what we're talking about here. But let's pick up on the theme. As you get, and I'll repeat what we discussed earlier on, to be attached to Krishna, and then there's less, let's say, tendency to go to Maya. All right, good. So we'll just leave it open now for discussions. And yes.
Thank you, Maharaj. Very good. I enjoyed it. And you were mentioning about all these colors, that everything now is black and white these days. So I was trying to think of now even cars are just either black or white. People don't get any of the colors. So if you remember earlier times when there were more colors. And then I have a question also, which is that you mentioned that the good thing about that feeling of separation is, it's good to feel that, but it's good to feel that for Krishna, but sometimes in our material world, in our interaction with people also, we can start to feel that. So is that, at that moment, should we tell us that that's a good thing, or is that attachment and how?
Feeling a separation from people outside, you mean?
Yeah, other than Krishna.
Yes, that's true. Well, that's why we try to train ourselves that anybody out there is a devotee of Krishna. They don't belong to me. They're just not mine. They can be mine as a friend, but even though you can't avoid that interaction, make sure you balance your day in such a way that Krishna remains as the central point. He's the one that, we should be thinking about the most. Really, there's a lot of time to think about him. 24 hours. There's a lot of time. And if you can't always see his face, when I first joined, I was seeing Krishna. I was going to college. I was walking, and next to me in the snow, I was imagining he was walking with me, and he never got cold. So the point is that you might think about someone else or your friends, but let Krishna be the overall thing. It would be a little bit like, say, pretend I'm Dwarkanath. Okay, Dwarkanath. and I'm cooking. I'm at the stove, you know. So at the stove, there's several burners, right? A front row and a back row. So in the back row, it's simmer, you know. Simmer, but in the front row is where you have to give all your attention. So just remember that you simmer with Krishna, I guess, you know, because it's going to be there like that for a while. And for everybody else, you might put a little attention to this pot and everything, but ultimately it's the simmering pots that, or the preps that are kind of important to us. Just let them be the overall, you know, meditation for us. And read chapter 8, chapter 10, chapter 11, just to give some examples from the Gita. Krishna's talking about how you can see him in nature, in the water, in the sky, and all those things. You know, water. You know, that we're trained to think this is Krishna. Yeah. And when it's a dark storm, that's also Krishna. He's showing his might, right? Don't think of anything other than Krishna. Yes.
I have a comment, Maharaj. I think in Bhagavad Gita 6.30, Krishna is saying, "One who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he lost to me."
Right.
So yeah, just seeing Krishna everywhere.
Right, exactly. That's a nice verse to do with the topic of being lost. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Okay? So once Krishna finds you, don't let him go. Just don't let him go. Okay? Yes, somebody else? Yeah, you.
What did you talk about when you were walking and you were imagining that Krishna is walking behind you? Do you remember some instance where you walk a lot and been through countries? Do you remember some instance where you felt Krishna's presence like this and it was not a good day to walk or something happened?
Okay, a bad day. You're talking about a bad day.
Yeah.
Well, every day is a good day because if it's raining, it's Krishna. If it's snowing, it's Krishna. If it's a dry, hot day, if it's a windy day, it's Krishna. It's all his energy. And, you know, you have to, let's say, somehow or other, marry the two. That is the energy and the energetic. You know, Krishna and his energy, let them become one. It's his energy, after all. Isn't it? Whether it's bad or good. The darkness is also Krishna. The brightness is Krishna. It's all him. It's all one. And Prabhupada even said, you know, on a higher sense, everything is all one. It's all Krishna. So we don't need to separate the sun from the sunlight. So let's try to see it like that.